Chapter 17 Nexus Point. You could say that Bouncer and Graham's greed was taking them to a place they may never be able to return from. This is more often than not an existential debate, good bad, right and wrong, ownership and theft, but right now, in the Kiruna laboratory it was a very real possibility. You could also say that they were no more than passengers at this point. A sufficient number of events had already taken place that even if they had wished to stop, not that anyone would be above to convince them to, the weight of causality had set its course, things were going to happen. And so it was that without realizing it every step Bouncer and Graham took towards #2HEL was in fact taking them closer to a multiverse inevitability, Delhi's nexus point, and a point at which many things would change. Dimensions would be brought into contact, places that were never meant to exist at the same point in space-time would touch. Bridges or portals would be opened between them where potentially anyone from each of the dimensions could pass freely between as if they were passing from room to room, though the implications were far more dangerous, perhaps even cataclysmic. "What can you see?" asked Graham as Bouncer pushed Leslie's trolley into the reception of #2HEL. "Not a lot, to be honest, it's just a room, not much like a laboratory at all, if you asked me," replied Bouncer. Graham joined Bouncer in the reception room and they both looked around, but nothing of any value popped out at them. It was then that Bouncer spotted the sign above a set of double doors, Laboratory. "At least we seem to have the place to ourselves. We're here before the staff start work. Come on this way, Graham," said Bouncer as he headed for the double doors. "Right behind you." As they entered the laboratory, Bouncer was so pleased they had stolen those boxes a few days ago. They were on the brink of something big. "Look at all this stuff, Graham." "What is it?" asked Graham. "I have no idea," replied Bouncer. "But it all looks very expensive. Grab some of those handhelds over there, that's a start." "Roger, Bouncer." As Graham got started pilfering, Bouncer continued to look around. After a minute or so he spotted the accelerator room. "That looks promising," he said to himself, but loud enough for Graham to hear. "What does?" asked Graham. "Accelerator room, Graham. There has to be something good in there." After entering the room, Bouncer saw what was labeled as the Accelerator Chamber, its door ajar. Inside it lay a small sample of material. As he closed in on it, his nanotech started to bristle as if they were reacting to the material. "Can you feel that?" "Feel what?" shouted Graham from the other room. "This stuff, Graham. My nanotech loves it. It's virtually jumping out of me to get to it," replied Bouncer. "That doesn't sound too good, be careful," advised Graham. Bouncer continued to get closer to the substance. The closer he got, the more excited the nanotech got. "They really want it," he shouted back. On a sheet of paper next to the chamber was a report title: "Farviewer Solarium Enrichment Number 20. "I think it's called Solarium," said Bouncer.